I was first drawn to straw plaiting probably, well, to be honest, all of my life. Living in a farmhouse in Northumberland, we always had a corn dolly hanging in the passageway. In the early 1970s, my mother had an idea to go and learn how to do this and booked into a class in Uffam Women's Institute. Well, she had flu, and so I was sent in her place. I was not looking forward to it, but when I got there, it rocked. It was amazing. And the kind ladies shared their better sandwiches with me. And from that day on, I've never stopped. For each piece of corn work that I make, there's a lot of unseen hours. I get a sheaf, which is dried straws delivered. The postie hates me because he has them all to carry. And it takes me 4 hours to get through one sheaf, which will probably get me over 900 usable straws. I then have to grade them into sizes, and each size equals a different type of skill in the weaving of them. This corn dolly is the favour, Northumbrian favour. Some people call it the countryman's love knot. This takes me 10 minutes, including putting the ribbon on. Now this one took me 8 hours exactly just to do the plaiting. So it really is very, very different, the timings for the different varieties. And the doll in the background there, she took me about 3 months. Usually it's after a lot of coffee when I wake up in the morning that I get my inspiration. I can look out the window into the garden and see the birds going around, hear the mewing of the cats for their dreamies, and suddenly into my mind crops a design. And I sit and have my coffee and I work out there and then how I'm going to construct it. If it lasts until after breakfast in my head, then I'll copy it down onto a sheet of paper and try it out. When I'm thinking of making a straw corn dolly, I've got a huge, huge background of designs and traditional weaves and plaiting to draw upon to help me. Over the many centuries, it's always been there for people to create something that looks beautiful in the sunlight. So it's really just a case of thinking, what do I actually need? What would I like to create and have the effect of? And often it's a corn design that might have been originated in Egypt or down into Mexico or into Europe. Different countries have different designs for different times of the year. In Sweden, they have folded straw work that looks like reindeers or goats. I sometimes use Swiss straw work, which is a bit of an adventure in itself. It's when I take perhaps this sort of length of straw, which is, as you can see, it's a heritage one, it's really long. I soak them in hot water to make them pliable so they don't split. I push it through a splitter and it creates very, very thin lengths of straw. If I'm wanting to make something very fine, then I squash that straw down and crush the cells. These are what are created when you twist 2 of those fine straws together to create a thread. And then I wrap these threads of straw around some whipping needles, which are really long darning needles. And when they're created along there, they make these incredibly beautiful rosettes. And with these, you can make all sorts of things. Your imagination just can run riot. One of the nicest ones that I've seen from the past was a fish, and these were the scales along the fish. It was remarkable. I've been making straw works now for 50 years. Where has the time gone? I've got several favourites, and one was the first time I decided to stop being a corn dolly maker, supplying shops, to being more of an artist. And one of the large dolls there was that moment. Then I decided, we'll see what happens. And so I worked at Beamish Museum and met people from all types of walks of life in different countries, and they were very inspiring. Some of the creations I made there were historical, but one of the interesting things I've done lately is to work with the installation artist, Alistair Mackey. And if you were to go down to have a whiskey in the bar down at the old Scotland Yard Hotel, it's in Parliament Square, you'll see on the wall some spirals of corn dolly work, 150 of them, and they're mounted on brass against a mahogany background, and I was one of the people that did those. I was so proud and excited to be asked to do that, and I've kept in touch with Alistair all of this time since, and it's a lovely friendship. Do get in touch with me. I love to see people and obviously talk the hind legs of them, and you can see whatever I've got around the house or stored in the carriage. If you don't want to come up to where I am, I'll meet you down at Beamish Museum, and we can have a sit and I can show you how to make your own corn dollies. Anyone that wants something specially made, draw it out and we'll see about making it.